Good morning. So today what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to install a Kodlin rear shock lowering kit for my lowrider ST. I'm just going to lower it I think it'll lower it maybe a half inch or a full inch. Let me show you the kit I bought, and I'll go through the procedure that I'm doing. The reason I'm in lowering it is the bike's still a little bit too high for me. So I just want to lower it just a tad bit. I'm not too concerned about lean angle or cornering angle, and I don't think lowering it an inch or a half inch will do that much in terms of affecting the handling of the bike. So let me show you where I'm at in terms of the height currently. I'm putting it right here in line with the tire and touching the ground. You can see the rear fender touches right at around 21.5 inches. If I do it from the right side, also in line with the fender, it's at maybe 23.5. And I'll compare that after I put in the kit. Now here is the Kodlin lowering kit that I got. It says Kodlin USA 1.5 inch lowering kit, Harley Softail with remote preload. And what I like about this kit is it actually doesn't change the travel at all. It's not going to change the travel of the shock. What it does do is it just lowers the shock, but not through any levering mechanism. It just changes the length of the shock without changing the travel. Here's the piece itself. It's a very nicely machined part. And of course, we have the instructions here. So we'll go ahead and work on that. First, of course, I'm going to remove the seat and then remove the rear shock on my bike. Let's go ahead and take my Corbin seat off. I already removed the rear seat bolt, so we'll just remove the seat. Now we're going to have to remove set the preload to 0, remove the preload adjuster, and then take off the rear shock. Because of where the screws are, I am going to take off my SBC Sick Bagger Company saddlebag guard so I can get to the rear screws in there, and then also to the bolt. First thing I'm going to do before I take off the saddlebag guards, I'm going to take off my trauma kit. I carry a trauma kit with me on my bike, and what it includes is some quick clot or rapid clotting agent, a tourniquet, and some bandages. And I leave it outside here just in case. Just an emergency kit. Very useful should an emergency happen. I'm just going to take off the saddlebag guard to give me access to the screws that I need to. So now that I've removed the engine guard, I'm going to come around to the bike. I'm going to lift the bike up, jack it up, so I can lower the rear wheel. Now let's set the preload to 0 to release tension on the spring. There we go. Now I'm going to need to remove this cross member here by removing these bolts on both sides. I'm not going to detach the preload adjuster because I think I can remove this unit out with the shock itself. Okay. Now, by letting the wheel dangle, there is a pinch bolt right here that you can see, which is holding the shock bolt. the rear shock bolt. So I'm going to relieve pressure on this pinch bolt by taking it out, and then I'll be able to jack up the rear wheel to relieve pressure on the spring and remove the 2 bolts, one in the rear and one in the front for the rear shock. So now I'm going to remove the rear shock bolt, which is right here, after loosening this pinch bolt. It's a Torx head screw, and there's easy access because Harley made an access hole right here. I am putting a jack under the rear tire so that when I relieve pressure, it's not going to suddenly fall the rear fork. Looks like I have just the right amount of spring pressure on it because the rear shock is not moving at all, and the bolt was very easy to take out. Let's now move to this front bolt here. Looks like I set up the height nicely. There was no pressure on the shock at all. Should be able to remove the shock now. Here we go. And there's the shock. And the cross member and the preload adjuster. Now there are lots of videos on the internet on how to use the Kodlin piece to remove the spring. They have an install kit, and I'm just using that here, and what I'm doing is I'm compressing the spring so I can access this top part, actually it's the rear part, to then install the Kodlin lowering nut. I've lowered it enough where now I can see the lock nut, and what I'll do is I'll loosen the lock nut, screw this piece off. I was able to loosen the lock nut here, and now this part should unscrew nicely. Screwing off the head here. Okay, so I fitted the Kodlin piece on, and I fitted the shock back into the bike. I'm just going to install the bolts, torque everything down, and then show you the difference in height. Okay, so I fully installed the Kodlin's lowering kit. Let's do a measurement and see where we're at. All right, so parallel to the tire, to the fender, we are now at 20.5. And then on the right side, parallel to the tire, we are now at 22.5. So it looks like, if I do my calculations correct, we lowered it about an inch. And let's see how it feels sitting on the bike. Okay, so let's see how it looks. I lowered the shock by about an inch with the Kodlin lowering kit. Yeah, and that feels really good. I'm no longer on my tiptoes. I have a 30-inch inseam, so that feels very comfortable to me. I did have concerns that when I lowered the shock, I might have to change the jiffy stand, but if you swing around to the front, my jiffy stand is down, and I had concerns that the jiffy stand would be too high. I wouldn't be able to lean the bike comfortably, but you can see I don't need to change the jiffy stand. This bike still sits very comfortably, very stably, without a problem. Easy to come off the stand as well. So if you do the Kodlin shock, I highly recommend it. Looks good on the bike. Thanks so much.